Serbia is on the cusp of revolutionizing its economy as some of the world's largest companies across many different sectors have invested billions into the region. The country is famed for its food sector and is the world's largest exporter of frozen raspberries, with around $180 million worth of exports in 2012 alone. However, with global giants such as Fiat, Microsoft, Coca-Cola, Bosch, and now 1,600 IT companies, in Serbia, autos and software are becoming the largest exports for the country. While Serbia poses to be an attractive place for foreign direct investment, I caught up with Vladimir Tomic about the challenges, opportunities and misconceptions about the business environment. Great, well thanks for joining us. So kicking off, what would you say are the main points in terms of attractiveness for doing business in Serbia?
Well, certainly there are many, but I would select Serbia as a cost-competitive environment where you can produce and serve all the major markets in the European Union. But in addition to that, there is a great advantage of serving the market of Russian Federation and also Belarus and Kazakhstan without paying the custom duties, which is really something that Serbia is unique for in Europe.
Okay, and in terms of sectors you're looking to, I suppose, promote and boost, export is a major one. So what kind of sectors are you looking to grow?
Well, in the last year, the one that has been developing more than the others was the automotive sector, and we have had a really good result in that, and we want to boost it even more. We now have one factory for the passenger cars. This is the Fiat factory with a whole lot of suppliers for this factory, but we really want to achieve more. At least one more factory for the passenger cars would be our aim. In addition to that, the food sector is always strong in Serbia, whether it is agriculture or processing of food. This is thanks to our fruitful soil here in Serbia. And the electronics industry has been developing very well, and in addition to that, the textile industry. So these are really the sectors we are focusing on for the future development.
Okay. On the production side, it seems to be booming. What is the focus on R&D? Is that part of the growth story, a small part, big part?
Not as much as we would like to, but definitely this is something that we need for the future. And already we have a little bit of success stories and some announcements coming from some really good names for the future, because if Serbia wants to do what it's planning to do, that then without the R&D, with just the shared production, we cannot achieve it. We need to get more added values into our products, and that's the only way how we can achieve that.
Okay, and maybe you can tell me a little bit about the tax environment here and how that is possibly a draw for people looking to invest in the future.
Yeah, well, I would call that really the most attractive environment in the whole of Europe, because if you take a look at all the principal tax rates, like the salary tax, the corporate profit tax, the VAT, it's really the lowest that you can find, and not in Europe as a whole, but also in the Eastern Europe, where they are generally more favorable. And on top of that, the government is offering a lot of incentives on the tax rates. For instance, you can get 10-year corporate profit tax holiday for investment that is over 9 million euros in Serbia. And also for hiring certain categories of workers, you are excluded from paying the salary tax. So it is really, really favorable environment, ones that you cannot find anywhere else in Europe.
Okay, there seems to be a lot of reforms on the political side as well that seems to be helping the business environment. Maybe you can tell me a bit about the privatization of some of the state-owned companies and how important it is over the next year to get this done.
Well, it will be definitely the priority for the next year. The government has announced that by June next year we need to solve this problem to finish the privatization finally. So I think in the following year the focus will really be to finding the strategic partner for those companies, where we have around 170 companies which are still not privatized in Serbia. So maybe just to name some of the key ones, like our steel mill in the city of Smederevo, like our pharmaceutical company here in Belgrade, like the track producing factory in the city of Privatization. These are all the priorities that we will need to solve, and we got 1 year to do it.
Okay. Well, looking into the future, there seems to be a lot of growth opportunities here. But what would you say are the biggest misconceptions from either public or big businesses about doing business over in Serbia?
Well, you know, the name of Serbia is always linked to what happened during the 90s here on the territory of the former Yugoslavia, and unfortunately to the Kosovo problem, which is still ongoing. But I believe that in the last years, great progress was achieved in dealing with these perceptions, and that the situation is really changing. And you know, when we look at the successes that we have had in terms of developing industry and foreign investments into industry, when you have companies like Fiat, like Bosch, like Panasonic, who have factories now in Serbia, this is a clear sign to the rest of the world and to the rest of the industrial world that this is a good business environment, this is a good industrial environment to be in.
Okay, great. Well, thanks for joining us.
My pleasure.